You could be in a room full of people and still feel alone. We've all been there, stuck in our heads, overthinking how others perceive us. It's a constant battle. But what if I told you that constantly caring what others think is actually one of the biggest things holding you back from your full potential? What if I told you that the key to real success, confidence, peace of mind isn't in impressing others, but in learning to let go of their judgment? In today's life, we're going deep. I'm about to break down 10 uncomfortable truths I've learned that will change how you view success, failure, and even how you see yourself. Trust me, you'll want to hear this, especially if you're tired of playing by the rules others have set for you. And I have a bonus at the end that will change your life. So you do want to stick around for that. All right, let's get into it. This one is one of my favorites. Number one, nobody cares as much as you think. I know that's harsh, but sometimes we just have to face the reality, right? Most people are only concerned about themselves. Do you think that you are the center of the universe in somebody else's life? Maybe people that are close to you, but not the majority of people, right? People are just trying to figure out how you can help them. So stop trying to be everything to everyone. You don't need to please them all. Focus on doing what makes sense to your journey. All right. Number two, this one is one of my absolute favorites. Speak kindly to yourself. We all know this, but how often do you do it? No, for real. The world is harsh enough. Why join in and be your own worst critic? If you're constantly putting yourself down, it's going to be a lot harder for you to find success. So start speaking to yourself the way you would speak to your best friend, with compassion, patience, and encouragement, and watch your life change. All right, number three. This one is also one of my favorites. Fail as many times as you need to get the desired result. Too often, we let the fear of failure stop us from trying at all. But here's the truth, failure is a part of the journey. And I personally know people who just want the right time, the right resources, the right opportunity, and which will somehow equal that you won't fail, but that is never guaranteed. You could literally do everything right and still get an undesirable outcome. All right. So it's part of the journey and it's a necessary step to get to the top. So ask yourself this question: what do you have to lose? Failure is only permanent if you let it be. So every time you fail, you get one step closer to success. Isn't that worth it? All right, number four. This is one of my favorite. I mean, I'm on a roll here. I have a lot of favorites, but this is one of my favorites. Stop inviting everyone's opinion into your success or failure. Let's get this straight. Not everyone wants to see you win. Some people will throw their negativity and doubt at you because it makes them feel better about their own lack of progress. So, why are you validating their doubt? Stop asking for validation from people who don't even believe in your dreams. What are we doing? All right. All right. No, but I know I said that was my favorite, but this one is my absolute favorite. Question everything. This is not something that's often said, but why not question everything? Why do we accept the status quo just because that's how it's always been? If something doesn't make sense to you, don't be afraid to ask why. The truth will always be more valuable than conformity. If someone thinks you're difficult for questioning things, they're probably not the right person to be listening to anyway. So, what's the point? All right, this next one is also one of my favorites. Do not be afraid to say, I don't know. This one took me a long time to embrace because when you are presenting yourself as somebody in the business space, you're doing business, there's this overwhelming pressure to always have all the answers. But guess what? It's okay not to know. Admitting it and learning makes you more credible than pretending to have it all figured out. Being real and willing to learn is what moves you forward. And people will be more likely willing to listen to what you have to say because they realize you're just as human, you're just evolving, you don't know all the answers, but you're still willing to find it to help them. All right, guys, this next one is one of my absolute favorite. No, for real. No, for real. Quitting can set you free. No, this is not permission to go quit your life and your responsibilities, but hear me out. I have always been a person, I follow through with things that I'm doing. All the way from high school up until now, I went through all of my classes. I've only skipped one class in high school. Mommy, if you're watching, just skip this out. But I've only skipped one class in high school to do an assignment for another class. Every day else, every other day, I went to school. I did everything I was supposed to do. And a couple months ago, I've just been battling with a decision that I've had to, revisit so many times because I felt inside that I should quit, but there was so many expectations tied to it, and I just didn't want to disappoint all of those people that were tied to it. So I just kept, trying to push through, and because of that constant desire to quit, I just kept changing my mind, quitting, changing my mind, quitting. And that indecision was making me feel very paralyzed. And so I had to just do what I felt was best, which is to let it go. Now, that was such a hard thing for me to do. And I'm sure many of you may feel that same way. But the other day I went on and I read this book. It's called Many Thousand Gone, African Americans from Slavery to Freedom. It's a book about slavery. In this book, it talks about when they were selling us human beings to our slave owners for $20, for $200, whatever price was put on that human being by that owner, right? And they were selling them. Many people ran away, all of that. We all know the different stories of slavery to abolishment, right? But then Bob Marley sung this song. He said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, which means if we do not make the conscious decision to free our minds from the mental slavery thoughts, from the mental slavery opinions of other people, we are free physically. We're free physically from the abolishment of slavery in Many Thousand Gone, but we are stuck mentally. And we're not free from the way that other people view us, from the way that we view ourselves because of other people's expectations and all of that. So I know we've been taught to push through, to keep going no matter what, but sometimes quitting is the best decision you can make. What if you've been going in the wrong direction all along and quitting was what you needed to do? Don't waste time forcing something that's not working just because you think you should just go on with it, right? Redirect, pivot, and save yourself from future frustrations. All right? Number 8, anytime is the right time. Here's a little true, Bob. If you can start tomorrow, you can start today. If you can start tomorrow, you can start today. Procrastination is the killer of dreams. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment, the right time, or some magical sign. If you're ready to start now. Every day you delay is a day you're not moving forward, is a day you're not getting results. If you are going to do it anyway, I heard Alex Armazi said this. If you are going to do it at some point in the future, why not just do it now? Because between now and the time that you decide to do it, you would have been getting the benefit from making that choice. All right? All right, number 9. This one is a really big one. This one is one of my favorites as well. You can feel like a failure and still succeed. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's just part of the journey. You can be struggling in one area of your life and still succeeding in another area. That doesn't make you a failure. And it doesn't make you a success either. It just makes you human. So keep going and don't let one moment define your entire story because you are literally in the middle until you die. All right. And number 10. This one I really had to settle with because when you don't know exactly what's the thing that's going to make you successful, you're going to try many things until you figure out what it is. Right. But this one is focus on becoming good at one thing. So maybe when you're starting, you're trying a lot of different things to see what you're good at and to see what you can become better at, to see what lights you up and what you can see yourself continuously doing. But when you find that one thing, instead of juggling everything and being average at all of those things, focus on mastering one thing. Focus on becoming the expert at one thing, the go-to on one thing. Everybody, when they hear your name, they just automatically assume this. All right? You don't need to be a jack of all trades for the rest of your life. You can be a jack of all trades at the beginning until you find your trade. But depth and master in one area will open many doors that surface level expertise will never. And the thing about this is, when you become great at that thing, you don't even have to seek people out. They're going to want to come to you and find out what you know. All of the grades are great for a reason. They are great at that particular thing initially, and probably they become great at other things, but they become great at one thing and people start to seek them out, right? So here's a bonus that I said I was going to offer. You know, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to keep on it. Your identity should never be tied to your possessions or your accomplishments. What happens when everything you've built is gone? Who are you at that point? If everything was stripped away tomorrow, you should still be able to rebuild. Why? Because you've done it before, you can do it again. That's confidence 101 right there. So when you tie your identity to all the things that you've accomplished, you're not giving yourself that leverage to depend on all of that years of experience that you've developed. To bet on yourself is another way that I would put it. Because you think, oh, I've accomplished all of this, but you did the accomplishments, which means you still have what it takes to do it again. So have your identity in the things that will keep you grounded. I'm a spiritual person, so for me that's God. But for you, find whatever that is. But you need to have your identity in something that is unshakable, so that when everything can be shaken, what will remain will remain. All right. So what's the takeaway that I'm trying to give with all of this that I'm saying? Stop caring about what other things of you, what others think of you. Focus on your journey, your growth, and your truth. And remember, you're never truly starting over, even if you have to do it all again. You've got the tools, the wisdom, the strength to figure it out again because you did it already. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And if you're ready to stop letting other people's opinions control your life, hit the like button, the subscribe button as well, and share this with a friend who could benefit from it, right? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the conversation going. And as I said, I'm here to help you build a life you're proud of. So hit the subscribe button if you're really ready to stop caring about the noise and focus on your growth. Let's get started and continue to invest in you. I'll see you in the next one.